Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called Mix CD. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I love making Mix CDs. Each week, we give our guests a theme and an 80-minute time limit for which songs they're going to pick for their Mix CD. This week, I'm going to be talking about the solo artists from the groups from last week that were successful after they left the group, even if it was just temporary. And I gotta say, this was really tricky. And I think the reason why it was so tricky is because you look at some of the movies, some of the music from these artists, and there's a lot of strong options here. And just picking like which one do you pick? The best one? Do you pick the your personal favorite? And I've got a mix of both for these. Like for example, with NSYNC, I had the Justin Timberlake quandary of which song to potentially pick. And my personal favorite Justin Timberlake song is Summer Love. Not his most memorable song, but I just like the beat. I like the lyrics. Yeah, just that's my personal favorite. But then you've got Camila Cabello, who just represents Fifth Harmony, and I just picked Havana because that was the first one that I listened to. I thought it was great. I think it's a severely underrated song. So there's that. Beyonce. Picking the right Beyonce song was hard. So I just went with the one that just gets me jazzed up the most. And I picked Formation. I really, really like that song. With One Direction, I tried to narrow it down and pick which one or which member's solo career I like the best personally. Look, Harry Styles, Niles, just all of them have had pretty incredible solo careers, but I picked Zayn and I picked Pillow Talk specifically. With Genesis, same thing. I had to pick between Phil Collins or Peter Gabriel, and I picked Phil Collins because Phil Collins is just a personal favorite of mine, and I picked One More Night. With Ozzy Osbourne, it was what am I going to pick? Am I going to pick Crazy Train, which is the conventional pick, or my personal favorite, which is Bark at the Moon? So I picked Bark at the Moon, thanks to Guitar Hero for that one. With Simon and Garfunkel, I picked 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover by Paul Simon. I'm not a huge Paul Simon fan. I love his music, but it's not like something that I'm going to listen to right off the bat. But with 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, I ended up singing a parody of this during Hell Week at my fraternity during my fraternity initiation. So I have a special place for this song in my heart. With the Black Eyed Peas, I've got Fergie's London Bridge. I don't know. I just love that song. I've got no good explanation for it. The next one, I've got Stevie Nicks, Edge of 17. That's just a like personal favorite of mine. With the Fugees, I could not pick which one. In fact, my original draft of this had a song from all three of them. So I picked Doo Wop That Thing from Lauryn Hill and Praz Ghetto Superstar. And the reason why I picked Praz's Ghetto Superstar over Wyclef Jean's We Trying to Stay Alive is because I get a 2-for-1 for this because ODB was also in the Wu-Tang Clan as well. So I get a 2-for-1 for that. So with the Go-Go's, I picked Belinda Carlisle's Heaven is a Place on Earth. I could have picked a couple of other ones, but that's the one. With NWA and Dr. Dre, I picked a Dr. Dre song versus an Ice Cube song, and I picked The Next Episode. Just That's just a personal favorite of mine. With the Commodores, I picked Hello by Lionel Richie, just ever so slightly edging out All Night Long. I've got Darius Rucker. He has a song called All Right that I quite enjoy. I've got my Beatles pick. This is probably one that I'm going to get a lot of crap for, but just hear me out on this. So For my Beatles pick, I could have picked a John Lennon song, Imagine is one of my favorite songs. I could have picked Maybe I'm Amazed, but I ended up going with George Harrison's Got My Mind Set on You. I love that song. It's such a fun song. I've got George Michael's Freedom 90. I adore that song. And then for the Michael Jackson song for the Jackson 5, I ended up picking The Way You Make Me Feel. I love that song. There's a couple of ones that I did not get a chance to pick, so that's probably going to be a volume 2 coming up pretty soon. But what are some of your favorite solo recording artists that gain success or notoriety are from a group? Let me know in the comments below.
Well, my friends, the time has come to end this episode of Mix CD. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website soon to be out at spdmcrew.com. You can follow our playlist on Spotify and Apple Music at Mike Hilty. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. If you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, no matter what happens now, you shouldn't be afraid because I know today has been the most perfect day I've ever seen.